we're going to talk about hitting bombs. 129 to 1 is the average winner at the American Express. These next two golfers are 90 to 1 and 100 to 1. Let's hit some freaking bombs. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of Inside the Canyon. I'm going to start this week a little bit differently and just do a quick recap, only because we were holding a Russell Henley ticket and he was one shot off of the playoff. He went absolutely in fuego on Sunday. Saturday night, I was thinking to myself, is there a real chance and real possibility that Russell Henley can win this golf tournament? It's going to take a lot. Well, he gave it a lot. He almost got there. He broke our heart. He should have been in the playoff. He missed from 4 feet on 16. He hit it into the rough on 18, which forced him to kind of have to lay up. He gave himself a birdie look from about 11 feet, and he hammered it past, just like he did on 16. Nick Taylor, we had it 100 to 1. On hole 11, he had basically tied the lead with Russell Henley, and here I was thinking for the back 9, we have a 100 to 1 ticket and a 25 to 1 ticket with Russell Henley and Nick Taylor in our pockets. We're going to get one of these guys. Maybe they both go to a playoff. Nick Taylor couldn't get really anything going after that. He finished tied for 7. Now, you know golf season's back when we're talking about, oh, wow, we almost had one. He was one shot off a playoff, but hey, folks, we're turning the wheels a little bit. We're sharpening our knives. We're getting close. I think we're putting together some sharp picks. I'm excited for what's to come on this channel. For those of you that are new to the channel, this is a channel where we're going to be giving picks for PGA Tour tournaments on a weekly basis. If you want to dive into custom models and you want to dive into hole-by-hole breakdowns and drone flyovers, we're not doing that here. We're going to get you picks and we're going to get you winners. So if you're here for that, stay a little while, subscribe, hit the like button. This week we're going to talk a little bit about just a few notes on the course. We'll get into my model, we'll break down the betting board, and then we'll give you a record 5 picks for Inside the Canyon. The past 2 weeks we've had 4 picks. This week we have 5. That is because at the American Express, the average odds of a golfer that wins this tournament is 129 to 1. And let's get ready to hit some bombs on episode 3 of Inside the Canyon. And let's dive in to the American Express. Anytime you hear somebody talk about the American Express, you're going to hear them reference Jon Rahm calling this an absolute shit putting contest. He's right. It's a putting contest. It's a wedge fest. It's a birdie fest. Call it what you want. The scores are going to be anywhere between 20 under par to 30 under par. You're going to have to go low if you want to win here. And that's why we're focused on birdies or better gained, opportunities gained, strokes gained on easy courses. Your horses got to get out and they got to run, baby. You got to go low fast and you got to continue it up throughout the weekend. So as we peel the onion back a little bit on the American Express, the previous 8 winners at this event, they've played in the Sony or the Century Tournament of Champions. This is also not going to be a place where, unlike last week, we were really focused on course history. This week, we're going to be focused on course history a little bit, but really we're going to be much more focused on, are you playing some good golf? Have you played golf lately? How are you hitting it from 50 to 125 yards, from 150 to 175 yards? Are you giving yourself birdie looks? Are you converting birdie looks? So without further ado, let's dive into the top 10 in my custom model this week. Coming in at number 1, it should be to no surprise, and it really should probably be number 1 in any model when he's in the golf tournament, Scottie Scheffler. Number 2, Patrick Cantlay. Number 3, JT Poston. Now, JT Poston, I will guarantee you, he's going to be one of the top 3 most attractive, most bet on, most played in DraftKings. He's going to be all over every show you listen to and watch this week. Number 4, Tom Kim. Number 5, Xander Schauffele. Number 6, Sam Ryder, bet him first round leader. Number 7, Erik van Rooyen. 8, Sungjae Im. 9, Eric Cole. And number 10, Taylor Pendrith. That's going to do it for the custom model. Now let's go ahead and dive into the betting board. So just like at number 1 in the custom model, number 1 on the betting board, none other than Scottie Scheffler. He should absolutely be there. He's playing the best golf of anyone. Just can the man putt? He's the winner of the Players, which we know is a comp course. He's first in my model. Second and first in opportunities gained and opportunities gained plus. I struggle to bet really any golfer this number. But this is an incredible course fit for Scottie Scheffler. And Scottie is playing unreal. He will be there on Sunday. Will he be in first, second, third, fourth, fifth? I don't know. He will be there. He'll finish in the top 10, top 7. I just can't bet him at this number. Not fun enough for me. Best of luck, Scottie. Patrick Cantlay, 9-1. Patrick lost strokes on approach at the Century Tournament of Champions. He's a great approach player. I'm not sure he's playing his best golf right now. However, in the last 36, he's first in course history. Now, if this was last week and we're talking about course history, maybe we're talking Cantlay and we don't care about how he's playing, but it's a new week. I hate this number for Patrick Cantlay. I think 9-1 in a field that is extremely strong, surprisingly strong, one might add. No thanks, Patrick Cantlay. No thanks, Patty Ice. We're passing on you this week. Next, Xander at 10-1. Xander finished tied for third here last year. Interestingly enough, he was 23-1 last year. Now, if you heard me a second ago, he's 10-1. I understand Jon Rahm is not in the field this week, but what has Xander shown us? To go from 23-1 to 10-1. We're cutting his number in half. This seems like the same old Xander to me. Now, there was this saying I heard watching the NFL playoffs this weekend, SOL for the Detroit Lions. Same old Lions. Not the same old Lions this year, but that's not the point. Xander, we got a new saying for you. Socks. Same old Xander. No thank you. He's not winning the golf tournament this week. Sung J M coming in at 20-1. Sung J, he's always going to flirt with you a little bit, pull you in, make you want to bet him, give you some stats to get you excited. But Sung J hasn't won a golf tournament since 2021. That said, he hasn't finished outside the top 20 here. He's finished in the top 12 in 4 of his last 5 starts here. For whatever reason, Sung J plays well here. Bet you he finishes tied for 12th. He's not winning. Next, Justin Thomas. This is the first time we get to see Justin Thomas in action this season. I am so excited to see how he looks. I think this is a year, Justin Thomas, he's circled it. It's a bounce back year. He's seen the depths. He's seen just what horrible looks like, and he knows he's better than that. I absolutely think this is a bounce back year for Justin Thomas, and it could be his best year yet. Next, Tom Kim coming in at 25-1. Tom Kim was a bet on the inaugural episode of Inside the Canyon, and he almost was on the 3rd episode of Inside the Canyon. He finished tied for 6th here last year. Now, he was pretty bad off of the tee, and at the Century when we were on him, he lost 5 strokes putting. He lines up with every stat. Birdies are better. Opportunities gained. He plays great on easy courses. He's 8th in good drives gained. He's 8th from 150 to 175 yards. He basically fits every category, checks every box. But he hasn't really shown any signs of life. And what did I talk about? We need to see some players coming in good form. I'm just not going to get there with Tom Kim this week, and I think that will probably save me some money. Next is Min-Woo Lee. Now, Min-Woo Lee is a great golfer. In fact, I think he's probably going to be in the conversation on Sunday this year at one of the majors. That said, 25-1 in this field, this number was an absolute head scratcher to me. He was 17-1 at the Zozo. We're talking 25-1, 17-1, a little bit different. But the Zozo is a much weaker field than this. And he's 25-1. I do think Min-Woo is on the rise. He played great at the Players last year. He was in the final group. We've already discussed this as a comp course. He destroys the par 5s. I just can't get there at this number. Best of luck to Min-Woo. I'm excited to back you this year, but we're not backing you here. Jason Day, fresh off the new clothing deal. He's tied for 18th here last year. He has great history at Sawgrass, but not so fast. He's outside the top 100 in birdies or better gained. Outside the top 100 in opportunities gained. That's not going to get it done this week. No thanks, Jason Day. Now, JT Poston, 30-1. Again, I said this already. JT Poston, you will hear about him on the radio, the TV show. walk into the school, whoever at the country club, people are going to be talking about JT Poston this week. Anybody who watches golf and listens to podcasts, they're going to be betting JT Poston this week. And for that reason, we're not betting JT Poston this week. It can't be that obvious. However, we'll talk about him briefly because he is going to be a popular topic of conversation. Last year, he was 76-1. He finished tied for 6th here last year. He kind of broke out into the scene here. He rates out absolutely incredibly well in almost every stat category. That's why he's number 3 in my model. He's top 7 in opportunities gained, top 5 in birdies or better. He finished 2nd at Twin Cities. I would not be surprised at all if he's leading the golf tournament at some point this weekend, at some point on Sunday. I just can't get there at 30-1 and when everyone else is talking about him. Not this week, JT. Wyndham Clark, 35-1. His best finish was 13th here in 2022. Wyndham has not been hitting the ball all that well when it comes to approach. That said, Wyndham could Jon Rahm this place. He has a very similar skill set. He's talented. He could go and win this golf tournament. I don't like the form I'm seeing from him. I think it's a pretty good number for Wyndham Clark, a U.S. Open champion who can hit it a long way and play very good golf, but we're not going to get there on Wyndham this week. Tony Finau, 35-1. Tony Finau was another person that I just was like, this is a pretty good number for Tony Finau. Guess what he was here last year? 15-1. We're getting him at 35-1. Now, Tony Finau has not been playing great golf. Totally agree. However, the TPC Twin Cities is a comp course here. Finau has destroyed that. He is someone that plays easy courses very well. Hence, TPC Twin Cities. He plays Birdie Fest really well. I think you're getting a great number. I'm just not sure where his game is at. If he's going to bounce back this fast, I think he could be a great DraftKings pivot. Coming in at 35-1, Sam Burns. Bermuda Burns. It is Bermuda, so he can put himself to a victory. I have heard a couple of people talk about the Dell Match Play as a bit of a comp course. That said, it's Pete Dye, just like Austin Country Club, winner of the Dell Match Play. I'm not sure his ball striking is going to be in a good enough place right now. He seems like a guy who could find the water one too many times, and I just am not going to bet a guy like that this week. Same with Ricky Fowler. He's been horrible off the tee in his last 2 starts. His big misses could find him in the penalty area. We're going to sell Rick this week. Eric Cole, 35-1. You know what we typically say about Eric Cole. You're probably going to be holding the ticket on Sunday, and he's probably not going to win. I sure hope that's not the case this week with Eric Cole. You'll see why in a few. Chris Kirk, 40-1. He's playing some great golf right now. I mean, great golf right now. Probably the best Chris Kirk has played in maybe his career. It seems like his floor is extremely high. He's been one of the best in the game in terms of approach and with his irons lately. I don't know that I want to bet Chris Kirk after already winning the Century Tournament of Champions a couple weeks ago. But he's playing great golf. I'm just not going to bet him. Don't be surprised if he's there. Siwoo Kim, 45-1. He's won this event before. Former Players Champion. He's just not in form. I just can't get there with Siwoo Kim this week. I need to see a little bit more from him. Shane Lowry, 45-1. I'd like to see Shane play before I back him in any number. I also haven't seen Shane Lowry win a golf tournament in a while. So show me something first, Shane, for us to put our hard-earned money and back you. No thanks this week. Now this next one, Daniel Berger, 45-1. I mean, this number was mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing. I would bet every dollar that we're betting on this tournament and every single tournament the rest of the year that Daniel Berger will not go off in this golf tournament at 45-1. When was the last time we saw Daniel Berger? You want me to bet him when we haven't seen him in over a year? No, thanks. Best of luck to you this week, Burger Man, but we're not taking a bite of the good burger this week. Cam Davis. Now, Cam Davis, he finished in the top 10 at both the Players and Twin Cities last year. He finished 3rd here in 2021. He was 46-1 here last year. I'd argue he's coming in and probably playing a little bit better golf. He was great last week. Keep your eyes on Cam Davis this week. Taylor Montgomery, bet him first round leader. I had him last week. He was one shot off of cashing for us at 80-1. He finished 5th here last year. This is the type of the world. He plays great golf. He's playing some great golf right now. He was 31-1 here last year. He's 55-1 here this year. Talk about some value. I really like him first round leader. Not going to bet him outright, but absolutely love Taylor Montgomery this week. Great stat profile. Now Adam Hadwin, 55-1. 2 runner-up finishes here. 24th in birdies or better gained. If you look back at the past winners here, Jon Rahm, Hudson Swafford, a couple others, there's a lot of multi-winners here. Adam Hadwin has 2 runner-up finishes here. Just like Russell Henley having his runner-up and tied for 3rd last week. I think you can do a lot worse than betting Adam Hadwin at this golf tournament. I would not be surprised at all if he's there on Sunday. He was really, really close to my betting card, but no dice for Adam Hadwin this week. All right. That does it for the betting board. There's a lot of golfers in this tournament. And as you can see, this is a really top-heavy golf tournament. We're not going to talk as much about some of the longer shots, but I do have a few saved for you because, like I said, activating thumbs. We're getting ready to hit some bombs this week. Let's get into your potential picks and potential winners for the 2024 American Express. And first up, we're breaking the rules. You heard me say earlier, the last 8 winners of this golf tournament played in the Century Tournament Champions, or they played in the Sony Open. Justin Thomas did neither. Now, can Justin Thomas break trends? Yes. Is Justin Thomas the type of golfer where trends don't really relate to him? Yes. Has Justin Thomas won multiple majors? Yes. Is Justin Thomas coming off of a horrible season? Yes. All of that said, he's playing some pretty good golf over his last 36 rounds. I think he's turning the ship around. I think we're going to see Justin Thomas have a great 2024. Let's dive into why I bet Justin Thomas this week. In the last 36 rounds, he is 10th in opportunities gained. He is 7th in opportunities gained plus. He's giving himself the looks inside 15 feet and inside 10 feet, which we know we need this week. In his last 36 rounds, he is 13th in birdies or better gained, meaning he's converting these close 10 to 15 shots to be birdies. He's 5th in strokes gained on easy courses. Justin Thomas can obliterate a golf course. We've seen him shoot 59s. We've seen him shoot 61s, 60s. He's famous for going low. He's the winner of the Players' Championship. He's not a debutant at this tournament. He finished tied for 7th here previously. Justin Thomas has all of the makings to go and win this golf tournament. I'm absolutely ecstatic to see him play in his first tournament of the year. Oh, and one last thing. He's top 25 in all of the key proximity ranges that we talked about in the previous segments. And by the way, JT hasn't even been at his best in approach. If JT brings his best to this golf tournament, he will run away with this thing. I love, love, love JT this week. Now, this next pick, this one's a tough one for me. I'm kind of eating my own words here. Eric Cole. Now, the past couple of weeks I've said, hey, you're probably going to be holding a ticket for Eric Cole on Sunday, and you're going to get a little sweat, you're going to get close, but he's not winning the golf tournament. Now, I think Eric Cole can win this golf tournament. His odds are right around people who've won golf tournaments, who've won majors. Eric Cole has done neither of those on the PGA Tour. But I think we might be getting ahead of that. He is playing some of the best golf on the PGA Tour right now. He has not finished outside the top 14 in his last 5 starts. He is first in birdies or better gained. You heard me? First in birdies or better gained. We've already said you're going to have to shoot 20 under or 30 under. He's first in birdies or better gained. He's 11th in opportunities gained, 8th in opportunities gained plus, which means during those opportunities, he's what? He's first in making them, putting it in the hole, making birdies. He is 8th in strokes gained across easy courses. I think 35 to 1 is maybe not the best value on Eric Cole. But does value always cash tickets? Value doesn't cash tickets. I'm looking at the stats this week, and Eric Cole is absolutely someone you should be putting your money behind this week. I think he will be right there, and I think he's getting used to playing in some of these big tournaments with big golfers. Do not be surprised if Eric Cole is holding the trophy at the American Express this week. Our next pick is Cam Davis. Now, Cam Davis is one of the types of golfers that you hear a lot of people bet and they don't win with. He has won on the PGA Tour. He's a guy where a lot of people like to bet him when it requires distance. We don't really need distance this week. That's all right. There's a lot of other reasons why I love Cam Davis. He's playing great golf right now. We talked about earlier, we're going to put ahead form versus course history. Well, Cam Davis is one of the few that has both coming into this week. He's playing great golf, but he also finished third here in 2021. He is 8th in par 5 scoring average in 2023, which if you go back and look, a lot of the winners here have separated themselves on the par 5s. Cam Davis is the type of player, he is going to be on the green putting for eagle every single time. I like my chances at Cam Davis holding a couple of those eagle putts and tapping in the majority of them for birdie. Great. Make your birdies. Let's move on to the next hole. He will do that. He is 11th from 150 to 175 yards. We already said that's where about 25% of shots will come from. He is 22nd in strokes gained on easy courses, and he is 26 in birdies or better. He played great last week. He was a first-round leader. He's the reason we didn't cash Taylor Montgomery, first-round leader. I love him this week. All right. As I said earlier, this is where the fun part begins. We're going to talk about hitting bombs. 129 to 1 is the average winner at the American Express. These next two golfers are 90 to 1 and 100 to 1. Let's hit some freaking bombs. Our first one, Erik van Rooyen. Now, with Erik van Rooyen, he's 90 to 1. Great, that's all fun. But do the stats line up? The stats absolutely line up for Erik van Rooyen. He is 2nd in birdies or better gained. Shockingly, he is 3rd in opportunities gained plus and 18th in opportunities gained. Erik van Rooyen is absolutely dialed. He is hitting it within the sombrero right now. He's just got to convert them into birdies. He's 7th in strokes gained approach. And he is 13th in strokes gained across the par 5s, which we just talked about with Cam Davis. He's going to give himself eagle looks, and he's going to tap them in for birdie if he doesn't make his eagles. Erik van Rooyen, he has played well here. I think he's kind of coming in under the radar. Oh, and by the way, he's played the Sony. He's played the Century. He is going to be there this week. I love Erik van Rooyen this week. Now this next pick, Aaron Rai. I have bet Aaron Rai first round leader in many, many golf tournaments. I'm going to bet him this week, first round leader. I would not be surprised at all if he's the first round leader. The next part is like, can you put your hard-earned money behind Aaron Rai to win the PGA Golf Tour event? I struggle with that, but we're doing it this week. Aaron Rai absolutely raises his baseline on easy courses. But that said, what have we talked all about in this episode and all about this week? It's opportunities gained. He is 4th in opportunities gained. We're betting a guy at 100 to 1 who is 4th in opportunities gained. He is 10th in opportunities gained plus. He's 5th in strokes gained at TPC Sawgrass and 15th in strokes gained at TPC Twin Cities. Both comp courses, top 15 in both of the comp courses. Okay, now let's talk about good driver of the ball. Can they hit the fairway? If they don't hit the fairway, can they make it to the green? Good drives gained, 2nd for Aaron Rai. Now, we've talked a lot about par 5s. We've got some guys on the betting card already who specialize in par 5s. So I wanted to say, okay, Let's look at somebody who can capitalize on the other holes. Par fours, which you're going to see more than any type of hole on the golf course. He's 15th in par 4 scoring in 2023. I love the picks this week, y'all. I think this is the week we're going to hit a winner. We are getting so close. Last week we were so close. I spent the most time this week coming up with my plays than both of the weeks combined from the Sony and the Century, and we were pretty damn close in both of those. That could be really good. That could be really bad. We'll see. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I think I've put together some great analysis. I'm excited to have you all along for the ride. I hope to see you all back next week for the Farmers. Buckle up. It's going to be a great golf season. And let's hit some winners. Let's hit some bombs. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next week.